Guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Anani. Today I am here on my family's land. Like you guys know, I am back in the States. My grandmother just passed away. So I am here for a little bit trying to get some more things together, but I will be back to Jamaica shortly. But in the meantime, I figured, why not take you guys around so you could see the solar here on my family's off-grid community. Have my mom here with me today. She is the one that hooked the solar up. She is the one that got everything together. We're going to show you guys, we have like a basic solar system. Of course, do your own research. It can get even more advanced than this, but this is just the basics. We're going to go around and show you guys kind of what you need if you're interested in doing solar yourself. So without further ado, let's get into today's video, and Mother, take it away.
For right now, we're just going to go over the basics of what is needed. Pretty much you need a battery. Everyone knows that. Everyone knows about gel batteries. Everyone knows about the lithium ion batteries, but you can also use RV batteries. There's pretty much 3 types of batteries. Our solar, you'll see as we go around the houses that they are low to the ground. Common belief is that you have to have them on top of your house. Pretty much that is for aesthetics. That is for possibly, it can be for optimal sun capabilities, but you don't, if you think about it, just putting your solar panels up on top of the house for maybe 10, 15 more feet is not going to reach, you're not going to be closer to the sun. I mean, so we opted to have them on the side of our homes so that I can get to them if anything needs to be repaired. I am about 5'6", and this panel is nearly, I want to say it's almost 5 feet tall. These were commercial panels. Nowadays, you can buy the really compact design solar panels, and they are flexible. I've seen those. The reason why I got these is because if you think about even cars from a while ago or things that were made a while ago, they're easier in my opinion to fix. When I got these, I bought them in bulk. I bought about 12 of them, and you do have to do your research. It was a little scary getting them. They came by freight, and they were in crates, and they, I think, were used at a commercial establishment. The price of them, I can't quite remember. I want to say because I bought them in bulk, they may have been around $350 or $400 each. But it was really worth it to me to get something that I could learn how to fix. Nowadays, again, you know, if you can get something more flexible or easy to maneuver, I guess that would be a good thing. But I live in an area where there are a lot of trees. The wind does blow. So I needed something really durable. Each of these panels are 375 watts. The amps on them, I believe, is 6. I think there's 6 amp panels, and normally I have about 2 on each home. 2 on each home is more optimal, and I can always upgrade this system. If you look over here where she's filming, there's a positive and a negative port. Anytime I use a Y clip, I can attach more panels on it. And then, you know, I can, if we ever get to go see my sons, probably not today, he has 3. So anytime I'm trying to connect panels, I'll use a Y clip, and then it'll all funnel into this just one intersection, and it'll go into the house. So this one panel here that we do have, it is sufficient for what I need. So during the day, I'm able to run my energy efficient fridge, and it's a mini freezer in it as well. If you notice also too, well, let me just stick with that thought. So I'm able to run my fridge. I watch TV. What else do? I charge my laptop. I charge my cell phones, anything that I need to do during the day, I can do. What I have taught everyone to do is that during the daytime hours when there's optimal sun, you want to do as much as you can do during the day. So if you want to watch TV, get news updates, use it like freely. I mean, during the day, it's like ample sun. I mean, you're getting free energy from the sun. And I just enjoy and get a kick out of not having to pay a electricity bill. So if you notice, let me go back to the thought that I had. If you see the way we have them, everywhere you live, you can Google literally, where should my solar panel be, what degrees it should be. Right now, sometimes you see people have an optimal 45 degree angle or a 35 degree angle. And mine was a little less. You see that it's not as slanted. If she goes and stands back and then visualize it, it's not lying purely flat, but it is like at a slight angle. I actually could lift it up, but you're going to have degrees and different angles depending on if it's winter or depending on if it's summer. You also have to have it in the right direction. So I have trees kind of covering it there, but this right here is facing south. Most of your panels you want to be facing southbound. Why? Because when the sun rises from the east to the west, if you're facing south, you're getting all of the sun coming over the panel. So it is important to have your solar panels facing south. So now we're in here, and of course I have to configure everything, but pretty much there is some basics to solar. We already know about the solar panel. There are wires as well. There's fuses that you need so that you won't have, any fires. I'm going to upgrade those, but everything is pretty much the solar panel, the inverter here, the charge controller, and you need batteries. Okay. These batteries that I have, each of those are 100 amp hours. So 2 of those is 200 amp hours, which translates to 2000 watts of power. You can look on any of your appliances and it'll tell you how many watts that it uses. So this is the basic system. You're going to need a charge controller, inverter, batteries, and cables and solar panels. There's more work to do because you would have to learn how to calculate certain things. But other than that, that is our basic setup.
All right, guys, now that you have kind of seen our solar systems, like I mentioned before, my mother is the brainchild. She's the one that had to learn everything in regards to solar. Nobody knew what in the world or how in the world to even put a solar system together. So with that being said, I just kind of wanted to ask her, what was that like having to pioneer it? Of course, like you did this years and years and years ago. Now we see a lot of videos on solar and stuff like that, but at the time that you made it, it was not a lot of material out there and you kind of had to piece things together. So tell us what that was like, your struggle, your journey, the trial and error of it all, and how you came to have the solar system that we have right now.
So back then, it just intrigued me. Again, like I said before, I knew times were changing. And we needed to be self-sufficient. So I wanted to have a backup system so that we won't have to be or didn't have to be so dependent on systems. Back then, like you said, there were videos with people starting to have homesteads and tiny homes, but no one was fully off grid. There were a couple of people that I can name off the top of my head, but for the most part, people either still had electricity, or maybe they still had water. They definitely didn't have a green septic type of a thing. Nobody ventured in doing those type of things, any kind of composting or anything. So it was challenging, but it was very rewarding because I knew that it needed to be done. And I don't change that. I wouldn't change that for anything. Wherever I live, I'm all about trying to get to 100% sustainability. I know that that could be impossible this day and age, because anything that you use is going to give off some sort of a pollution, but you want your carbon footprint to be as low as it can. Um, if I could get rid of my car and have horse and buggy, I would do that. So, I know that that is just something that I'm going to have to live with. But if I can get at least to 80% self-sustainability, I'm happy. I think everybody doing their part, it helps. Also, too, with the solar, there were YouTube videos, but what I realized was they were not giving you whole answers to things. Right. It was not, oh, you just do this, do that, connect this. No, I had to piece everything together. I had to, Google was my friend, had to look at certain books. I had to understand wattage and voltage, being a novice, So, how, the first thing I looked at was how not to electrocute myself. So it was very hard, because to piece everything together, I realized because people wanted you to buy their books, they were not giving you the whole enchilada. It was difficult, but it was rewarding.
All right. So now, of course, Mother, I know you have more knowledge than you did when you first started the solar project. So what is something that you would tell the viewers out there who are wanting to start solar that could help them maybe not make the same mistakes that you did and things of that nature?
Okay. So one thing that I've learned is, yes, there is a ratio for the panels versus the inverter versus the batteries, but the big deal, the biggest deal about a solar system is the batteries. If I would have known anything, I would have invested in more batteries starting off, because no matter, even if you do have one panel and it takes 2 days to charge them, you don't want it to take 2 days. But the point is, it's about what the batteries store. and you're pulling from the batteries. Okay. So you're not really pulling directly from the solar unless you have it, your system's hooked up just straight from the solar and no batteries. I mean, some people have done that too. I wouldn't recommend it, but, it's all about the batteries.
Yeah. Okay. And also to Mom, when you are doing your upgrades for the solar, what are some things that you are going to do to make it better? Of course, I know you guys saw it. Of course, it's functional as it is, but like we told you before, it needs some work. We're going to try to improve upon it even more. So what are some things that you are going to upgrade the system?
So me being me, first of all, when I got these homes, that's a whole nother story. Tell Carrington to let me say it if y'all want to hear it. But these homes, I settled for these homes, or these sheds turned to homes, because it was easier to get them kind of some of the things pre-done. Okay, so the things we had pre-done were the doors, the windows, and another thing was I got it already pre-wired for electrical, understanding that I was going to hook up solar to it. So one of the things that I can't wait for in the future, and I'm hoping that it's this year, is that I'm actually going to finally hook my solar to my breaker box. And again, I've learned so much, but I've also learned that it's okay to have limitations. And I'm going to ask, there is a friend of mine, a client of mine, her husband, kind of knows about electrical. And I think that I do know how to hook it to the home, but I would love for him to shadow and really show me the proper way. And once these homes become live, I'm going to be so excited. Yeah. Now, we are using them like the solar like it is, straight out of the inverter with the extension cords, but it's going to be wonderful for every plug, for every light, for every ceiling fan to work. So that is what I am looking forward to make it better.
Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I do hope you enjoyed it. Special thanks to my mother for coming on here and teaching us a little bit about our solar system and kind of what you need. I hope if you guys are interested in solar, you got something out of this video. Please leave your comments below. Again, this is a basic solar system. Of course, we're going to be improving upon it in the upcoming months, like my mom discussed. And if you want to see that video or those videos in the future of her upgrading our solar system and things of that nature, she actually has her own YouTube channel called Being Black, Living Green. I will leave the description or the link in the description to her channel below so you can follow along and subscribe on her journey. But with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. If you are interested in why in the world I am leaving this off-grid Shangri-La and moving to Jamaica, please click this video somewhere on the screen and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.